So at Ceramex North America, our speed to the market it's imperative because the trucking industry is built for speed of the response from their vendors. They need a quick return on their filters so those trucks can have more uptime, increasing their revenue stream. Which all the OEs in the industry are now saying don't air clean because they're destroying the filters. We use an aqueous wash, gentle on the substrate, removing 98% of the soot and ash from the filter. And in doing that, the trucking company can get all their miles back. They get all that time back on that filter. So if they've got 350,000 miles on that truck, when they get it back, they can expect that to perform at that exact same level. We ensure that everything is validated back to the OE spec. It's not just, hey, we cleaned it. We make sure that those are truly back to the OE spec, that they meet that rigid requirement. Our turn time on these filters, after we receive them in our building, 24 hours later, we're shipping them back out nationwide, whether it's just a customer with one filter, or if it's a customer with a trailer load, more than capable of handling either scale. We will say that the timeline for the trailer load is going to take, if we get it on a Monday, we could have it shipped out on a Friday. But 24-hour turn time on the standard with a customer that sends in 2 or 3. So on the total cost of ownership with your DPF and your DOC filters, you're looking at 3 options in the marketplace on your after treatment system. You're going to have to buy new, whether that's with an OE or an aftermarket, the air clean or the aqueous. It's one of those 3. The first one, buying replacement filters new, whether they're aftermarket or OE, are very expensive and then they're cost prohibitive. The air clean, the old mousetrap, the new mousetrap is ours, where we're removing all that soot or ash and at about 25% a new aftermarket filter. The cost on that is extrapolated over a entire fleet, just depends on the size. If it's got 10 trucks or if you got 2,000, it just really depends on that. But where we really make the impact is on these stop and go super regional fleets, trash trucks, buses, concrete trucks. Those guys are doing theirs every 3,500 hours, at least they should be. That's about 1.5 years before they need cleaned again. So if they send it out to get it air cleaned at 3,500 hours, they send it in air cleaned and they get it back, they're only going to get 30% of soot or ash out. They've just cut that filter's life down dramatically. If we do it, they get all those hours back. They got another 1.5 years life left on the filter again. So since the induction of the after treatment system over the past several years, the air clean was the only thing that was out there to have it baked and blown. That was the original method. Everybody used it, but it's really just taken a foothold in the States. With the aqueous clean, it's much gentler on the substrate and allows more removal of ash, but the air clean leaves up to 70% of that soot or ash in the filter. So with doing that, the OEs are starting to recognize that they're not efficient and that they're destroying the filters by allowing hard ash to accumulate, causing cracks and melts, and they're starting to take a more proactive stance on that air clean system and saying that not to do it, they recommend not doing it. I'd recommend anybody going to an OE's website, Googling the DPF cleans, and a lot of them are putting in print on their website, do not air clean. The unfortunate thing with the industry is that a lot of people are still treating the DPF as an unserviceable item. They'll just run it until it's either cracked or melted, and when that happens, you've already got probably have some DOC poisoning, because it's coated with everything that's coming off the front of that engine and never been cleaned. And then the DPF's ruined. It's allowed more particulate matter to go through the SCR, which causes overdosing and other issues. So you end up ruining probably the entire after treatment system. Just scheduling a maintenance program, depending on what the OEs say, dictating where you set that and you follow it, you can keep your own filter in play longer. Spent over 20 years in the sales industry and the transportation world, from oil and tires to other parts. Everybody has a maintenance schedule, from tires to brakes to changing their oil. But the one thing they're neglecting is their after treatment system. And it's something that is a huge impact. It's slowly crept up to the top 3 top expenses inside of a fleet. And why they're not managing that more proactively, it still befuddles me. So with Ceramex, our approach is to make your a circular economy rather than a linear. So your money that you spend on a $3,000 filter, you clean it at half that price or even less, depending on the cost of the filter, clean it at a much lower price. You keep it in your fleet and it keeps making it around the loop back into the installation. That's circular economy. That money stays inside of that loop. People practicing it's a non-serviceable filter on the truck. They're making it linear where it just falls off the end finally, and they've just threw the money out the window. We have multiple fleets that we're currently doing business with. Initially, as they've been air cleaning for so long, they've had exposed cracks and melts that they weren't aware of. Filters have failed, got the replacement in. Fleets have been sending them in over the period of a year and a half. We start to see that those filters stop coming into us as rapidly from that fleet because they're already cleaned by us. They've got those original miles back and they stay in their trucks longer. So if a fleet with 100 trucks, they were sending in a couple a month, which is a lot for a fleet that small. But over the course of the year, they've gone through their entire fleet, year and a half. They're all been cleaned, but they were chasing them consistently on the air clean, getting them cleaned over and over. That increased their downtime. It increased their labor rates in the shop because the truck was in there more often. And what we do is increase your uptime and keep that labor rate down because it's not in the shop, because it's just being air cleaned. In our industry, there are other vendors out there that have a similar cleaning methodology, but ours comes down to validation to where we can ensure that when you get that filter back, it's going to perform exactly like a new one. And when you get it back, you got all your miles back. Other locations are peppered throughout the United States and set up for a matter of convenience. Much like a convenience store, you get a little different service from each one. Here it's a consistent set standard from the induction all the way to the shipping, so that every filter that goes out goes through the same process every day. Our employees are professionals in what they do. They have a full understanding of the after-treatment system. So as they're helping restore these, they understand what needs done. It's not somebody putting it in a machine, pushing a button, walking off, coming back a couple hours later, not doing any validation other than just going, it's clean. We ensure that it's all there. We have the data to share with the customer to prove that they have been restored to a full OE spec.